The following story took place 500 years ago in Sfat. There was a boy who ran away from Spain. The Spanish wanted to convert him by force. He ran away. He ran away to Sfat. He came to the home of the Arizal, and he told the Arizal, I want to learn Torah. I don't know any Torah. I'm Jewish. They tried to convert me, but I hold on to my religion. I'm not going to let anything stop me. So the Arizal says, I have no problem teaching you, but I have a better teacher for you. You have to go to a different rabbi. His name is Rabbi Avraham Angel. He lives in the neighborhood. I'll give you his address. You give him the address. He goes to Rabbi Avraham Angel. He knocks on the door. Rabbi Avraham comes out. He says, how can I help you? He says, the Arizal sent me. He told me I should learn with you. He says, oh, the Arizal, of course, come in. Rabbi Avraham was very rich. He was very wealthy. He had many, many rooms in his house. He says, you could stay in any room you want, and I will treat you like my own son. And he treated him like his own son, and he taught him a lot of Torah. In the interim, Rabbi Avraham's wife was very sick. She was deathly ill. She was on her deathbed. And as she was dying, before she finally left this world, she called over her husband, and she says, my last will is for my daughter to marry a Talmud Chacham. And then she passed away. So now, Rabbi Avraham has a daughter he has to marry off. So after he sat Shiva for his wife, he tried to set her up with different guys. And no matter what guy they set her up with, she wasn't interested. Talmidei Chacham and Big Tzaddikim, she said no to all of them. So finally, he comes to his daughter and says, I don't get it. What do you want? I set you up with all these people, you don't want any of them. Tell me what you want. What are you looking for? She says, I don't know what I want, but I have these dreams of my mother coming to me and telling me that I should marry this boy that you're teaching from Spain. I should marry him. She says, what, this guy? He just started learning Torah now. I just started teaching him not too long ago. So he says, you know what, let's go to Arizal, whatever the Arizal says. He goes to the Arizal and says, Rabbi, what do you think? Should I marry off my daughter to this boy from Spain? The rabbi says, it's a very good idea. You should marry them off, but you should marry them off on one condition. That if anything ever happens to you, all your wealth and all your riches is going to go to this boy, your son-in-law, from Spain. So the rabbi says, whatever you say, Rabbi, that's what I'll do. He goes ahead, he marries them off, and they had the picture-perfect marriage. Beautiful marriage, Baruch Hashem, everything worked out. 9 months later, the daughter is giving birth to a baby, and after she gives birth to the baby, she passes away. The daughter passes away. So the rabbi was getting old, and he started to understand that soon all my money is going to leave me, and who's it going to go to? So this boy from Spain, he just couldn't understand, why does this all have to happen? Why did I have to lose all my money? So he goes running to the Arizal and says, can you explain to me what's going on? Why did you tell me it's a good shidduch? Look what happened in the end. In the end, my daughter ended up dying as a result, and she, after giving birth to this baby, and now all my money is going to go to this boy from Spain, to my son-in-law. So the Arizal says, the only way you're going to understand this is if I tell you the following story. He says, many years ago, there was a woman, a married woman, who came to court, and she claimed that her husband beat her, and he beat her so bad that she had a miscarriage. She said, I was pregnant, my husband would beat me, and he gave me all types of wounds, and she showed all her scars to the judge, to the rabbi, and the rabbi was very upset. He says, I want to summon your husband to court right now. They bring him over. He says, you Rasha, you wicked person. You beat a woman, you beat your wife, you beat a pregnant woman. I'm going to make you pay for this. You're going to give her a get right now. He says, I didn't do anything. She's lying. What, you think she's making up all these stories? What's all these scars on her? What's all these bruises? You think she gave it to herself? Now you're going to pay. And now you're going to pay the full ksubah, an exuberant amount of money. You're going to pay everything you got. Take everything out of your pocket right now. He made him pay everything. They got divorced. Now this guy has no wife and he has no money. Says that Arizal, this judge made a very big mistake. He should have did further investigation. The husband never beat his wife. He never killed the child. She killed her child. And she wanted to blame him. And she didn't want to take the guilt. So instead she wanted to blame him and take all his money out of him. He says, all these three people, the judge, the husband, and the wife went to heaven. And Hashem now has to settle the score. Hashem says, you know what's going to happen now? All of you are going to come back. The woman came back as your daughter, Rabbi Avraham. And the baby that she died as a result of was the baby that she killed. But this time the baby came back to kill her. She took the life of the baby, and now the baby took the life of the girl, of your daughter. So he says, what about my son-in-law? He says, your son-in-law was her husband. And so now he came back, and they had to get married again. He says, I understand, but why am I the one who has to forfeit all my money to this man? He says, because Rabbi Avraham, you were the judge who made the wrong ruling. And therefore, because you didn't do your due diligence in bringing the right ruling, because you didn't bring justice, now Hashem brought you back to bring justice. And all the money that you took away from him, you have to now give back to him. Incredible story of how Gilgulim work. But you learn from here a very important lesson, that there is justice. And in the end, not always do we see the justice, and justice doesn't always happen when we're alive, and we can't always witness it, we can't always experience it, we cannot connect the dots. But rest assured, Hashem make sure to settle the score with everybody. And in the end, everybody gets what they deserve. How many of you are 6,000 years old? Nobody. I'm sure that everyone who's listening to me right now is not 6,000 years old. If you're 6,000 years old and you've been here from the beginning of time till the end, then you can start asking questions. Only Hashem says, Ani Rishon, Ani Aharon. I was here from the beginning and I'll be here till the end. And I see everything. I know what's going on behind the mystical parts of this world, behind the mysticism, behind the secrets. I know everything from beginning to end. How can you come along and ask questions on God? Do you know what this person was in his previous life? Who this person was? In the end of the game, Hashem, He settles the score with everybody. We might not be privy to see the Midah Keneged Midah behind everything, but every bill is paid in the end. And whatever any person did will boomerang right back to them, whether for the good or whether for the bad. So we see from here a very important lesson that no matter what happens in this world, we don't know the bigger picture. We don't know what happened in the past. We don't know what the person has to go through, why he has to go through it. So we just have to have faith, and that's what it comes down to.